the joy I see of the Garden of Eden.
Yes, I am first going to say I am here with my neighbor Gwen O'Looney.
Yes.
We go through this a lot because a lot of people, Gwen is working on her will, although she's way too young to be doing that, but they say you should start young, right?
That's right.
And Gwen has just this fabulous collection of pearls. And a lot of women have fabulous collections and want to know, what is this? Is this something that I can leave to my loved ones? Are they going to say, what is this? Is this worth a lot? Is this not? Like, what do we have going on? So, do you want to start with these earrings?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have 3 of them?
Yeah, what happened was I bought 2 pair, one for my mother and one for me, and I gave it to her for Christmas. And she lost one of hers, and so I gave her one of mine. And I haven't been able to wear them for years, but now I can.
And yes, now that she passed.
So they mean a lot, yeah.
Yeah, and they're beautiful. When did you buy them?
I bought them in China in 2006.
Oh, okay, later than I would have said. I don't know if we can see that good on the camera. I talk about these sometimes. These are Mabe pearls.
Yes.
So, did you know that they're
Well, I
called
knew
Mabe
I
pearls?
paid a lot of money for them. In China, even, yeah.
Yeah. Well, and
in a real store.
Yes. Well, and I bet this is, they have all different styles of these, but I bet these are set in gold. They're actually a real gold. They have this style of earring in a whole range of more costume jewelry. I'm sure you've seen that kind of look.
Right,
They'll be really big. It's like the Chanel button look. It's
yes, right.
But it's a half spherical pearl is basically what it is. So what they do is you can see at the back of it that mother of pearl bead. You tell that that's a little bit different than the front part of it?
Yes.
Yeah. So what they've done is they've cut like a half of a bead out of shell and have implanted that half a bead inside the mollusk or oyster, and so it's formed the pearl. And basically they do it against the shell. So it forms the pearl on top, and then they just cut it out and put it in jewelry. The very first cultured pearls were done exactly like that as well. They couldn't do a full sphere, so they did a hemisphere. Is it hemisphere or something?
Right.
Yeah, but they're gorgeous. They look beautiful.
Yeah, they're very
I don't
classic.
even know if they can see it, and they're beautiful.
They're very classic. I wear them. Now I'm going to tape you. I'll record you.
Oh my gosh.
Because I want to write this down, and I don't want to interrupt your thing. Let's see.
Well, I can even share this video with you afterwards if you'd rather do that.
Do that.
Let's do
Yeah.
that. Let's do that.
But how did you spell that M? Mobe or?
Yeah, M-A-B-E.
Uh-huh.
Mabe, I guess with a little accent on the E kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's basically what a Mabe pearl is. Sometimes they'll call them blister pearls as well, because it's kind of like forms like a little blister, and it's just But there's just, they just have that certain look to them, and it's a way for people to have, big pearls, but it's not a full big round pearl. And then a lot of times this exact look will be imitation as well. It'll be,
right.
I mean, I've seen plenty of these that's just a mother of pearl without the pearl on top of it, kind of thing. But yeah, those are very, very pretty, And you see them in rings sometimes too, that same kind of look. So it's not a big round pearl up on your ring, kind of thing. So yeah, those are beautiful. I love them.
Thank you. All right.
Okay.
Now, mother got this set in China when she was there, and I don't think that those are, you know what I mean?
I was about to say, these didn't strike me as real, but when you said, but it came as a set, I was sort of surprised.
But no, I mean, I think
she would just wear them together.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, because these are real, and
are they called seed pearl?
Yeah, a lot of people do call them seed pearls. And this again, I wonder, do you know when she got these?
No, and probably about 2002, maybe.
Okay, because I was going to say, remember when it was really big, it was really into twist them?
Yes.
That's the neat thing about these kind of pearls is you can kind of twist them up.
And I do twist them because they're kind of sloppy looking.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes they don't necessarily, sometimes they are made to twist because they don't exactly lay, in perfect sequence. It just kind of depends on your look. So, and it almost looks like maybe there was a little pearl on that clasp that fell off kind of thing too. So, so these are real, and it's so hard to kind of explain to people how I know things are real when I kind of pick them up. One reason is the weight. Sometimes you can, if they're a multi-strand like that, and you pick them up and they're super duper light, because you can have two different types of fake pearls. You can have them with kind of like a glass or a heavier bead, or they can be plastic.
Right.
In some design like this, if it was imitation, it would be most likely plastic and therefore a lot lighter. You can also tell that all the beads aren't perfect, you know. They've got some, it's more of like almost even a potato shape, I would say, you know, not a perfectly round. But those are really pretty, and these are really pretty, and that's what these are imitation.
Yeah.
I mean, I originally,
Yeah.
you know, but again, I mean, I love that design.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
yeah,
a real attractive earring as well.
I wear those together.
Yeah,
like she did.
yeah, and probably is more of a mixed metal base too. You know,
They're
versus
right. But
you know.
you know, she gave me these because to her they were too much. But you know, I've never seen too much.
This too much, I know, right? For you women like you and me, this is not too much at all. This
Right.
is just this would be just go in the layer somewhere,
That's
right?
right,
So
that's
yeah,
right.
yeah. But those are really, really pretty. The only thing I would say about these
Yes.
is
They're not strung.
well, they're not knotted. They seem a little stretched out here, and even on this side, it almost, I don't know if that's original, but that being tied to the metal, I always say anytime thread is tied directly to metal,
It tears.
it can tear.
Yeah.
So that would be my only concern about this necklace. It is going to break
Yes.
at some point.
And it's not
so
knotted, so it'll go everywhere.
yeah, and it might, to be honest with you, they knotted that very last pearl. So if it breaks right there, you may be okay, you know. I mean, if it broke somewhere else, they would go everywhere. But
That's great.
yeah,
I mean,
because they look a little stretched out there, that almost feels like the weaker spot to me.
all right.
So
All right. Thank you. That's
so I hate
great.
that, but they will break
I'm
at
gonna
some
move
point.
them over
and
here if we
okay,
get rid of
there's
them.
that other
All
earring
right.
that goes with that. Okay,
All right.
what else we got?
Okay. Now, this I don't even know if I have matches. Why don't we ignore those? All right. Now, this was given to me as a graduation present, and I have always thought that they were real. And all of a sudden, I noticed that some have lost their stuff, so they're not real. See, there it is. There's one
There,
without
I know.
any.
I know.
So what are pearls like this called? Fake pearls.
Yeah, that's a really good question. Okay, so these are confusing. I will tell you that. These, one reason you think they're real is because that nucleus or that inside piece isn't perfectly round. I mean,
Right, I
sometimes
thought
that's your giveaway. You're like, well, these are, but you know when you see those perfectly round,
Right.
you know, off
Right.
the dime store shelf kind of
I
thing.
called them saltwater pearls for years.
Well, there are a couple of things I'll say about this,
Uh-huh.
which is, so we see this, just the little inside bead part.
Right.
And sometimes that can happen with real pearls. You can see that inside bead, and it's because in pearls, especially Akoya pearls, which are typically the smaller pearls, originally came from Japan. Now they come from Japan and China. They come from a little oyster. It's called the Akoya oyster. They're Akoya pearls, and they can have less than 1 millimeter of pearl nacre on top of the mother of pearl bead. So I have seen this look of an exposed bead in real pearls. Let me step in the light here and just make sure about these. Yeah, I do think these are imitation for sure. And the reason I'm going to say that is because you can see where it is just like a thin little coating on top of these. You know, I can see multiple pearls that have kind of worn down. And you said you got them from graduation?
Yeah, from high school.
Oh, wow.
So I've had them a long, I mean, they just,
So you graduated from high school, do you mind telling
in
me?
65.
Okay, because I was going to say, you know, the 60s were such an interesting time for pearls. You know, Jackie Kennedy's famous pearls that, you
right.
know, are imitation pearls. You know, there were a lot of imitation pearls, even in the 60s,
Uh-huh.
that women got their pearls, but they weren't real pearls. So I hate that these were your special pearls, although they're still your special pearls, right? I mean, they're still your special
That's right.
pearls,
Right.
but they are imitation.
Okay.
They are an imitation pearl.
Is there anything like clear fingernail polish or nothing? Okay.
That's
all right.
the question. I mean, everyone asks me that. What can I do to restore this actual pearl? I will say, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if there's something out there. It's almost tempting for me to even research that and see how do you coat an imitation pearl, because it does. I mean, it becomes the same problem with real pearls. Anytime you get down to that nucleus, what are you going to do?
Right.
You know? And I will tell you this, and you know, maybe it's because I'm in the jewelry repair business. Once we have re-knotted pearls, and sometimes you don't even realize how dirty those knots are in between each pearl.
Right.
They look better when you re-knot them. It does give them a pop to have that fresh silk that's clean, and you know, so that would give them a little something. But in terms of actually repairing the beads. But then one other thing I want to say, this is one of those strands that fools you because it's a heavy strand. I mean, I don't know what that is on the inside. I mean, it almost looks like a plastic, doesn't it? But it's heavy. It's not a light.
Right.
So I don't know what that material would be. But
now that was a good thing that I think people will want to know is the how to clean them. What I do is I take some Dawn and I flush it around, and then I lay them in there.
Okay.
And then I take like maybe a soft toothbrush and go along.
Yeah. No, I think that's great. Yeah, what I usually do with my pearls is I do ivory soap and I sud them up, and then I just kind of work them in. You're right to lay them down. You never want to hang them up because when that silk is wet, you hang them up.
I don't want to tell India. But I mean, come on. Well, I do have anyway, I'll show you later.
Well, you can tell how the weight would just, I mean, it's subtle, right? It's subtle.
Right.
I say
and
to people all the
I
time.
shouldn't be hanging this. I mean, think about those strings that are already.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, I think that's a natural response. And you know, we say all the time, don't spray your perfume on your pearls. Well, it's not going to make them look awful the first time, second time, 10th time you do. I mean, it's just a long-term care thing, right? So same for hanging them up. I mean, if you hang your pearls up when they're drying sometimes, I mean, it's not going to be the end of the world, but that will, over time, that is going to stretch those out. But yeah, that's great. With pearls like this, it's really hard to clean them, and I wouldn't even use the toothbrush on imitation pearl. I mean, that's almost too coarse. I mean, we got a strand in at the Pearl Girls, and they asked for us to clean them. It was our first experience like this, and as soon as those went in water, I mean, it just flaked off. And it was so old and such a thin coating of imitation pearl. I mean, it was like, now we have to make that phone call. I'm like, I mean, we hadn't mistreated them or anything, but it was just like,
they
you know,
couldn't
so
take
you
it.
do. Just over time, right? Even, you know, we say pearls will dry out if they're not exposed to moisture. Imitation pearls will as well, because that coating will dry out and can become very fragile.
Yeah.
So I would.
So how do you? I mean, okay, so you shouldn't hang them, especially when they're wet, when the silk is still wet.
Right.
And then you can clean them with a light soap.
Yeah.
But you know, what was I going to say? Okay. I can't remember what I was saying. It was so important.
I'm sure it was.
I wouldn't have interrupted you. Okay, we'll go ahead and.
Were you going to say, do you scrub? You know, something about scrubbing them, or?
No, I knew that because you did a good job of that. I don't know. I can't remember, but I'm sure I will.
Okay. All right, well, think of it, and we
shouldn't hang them.
We lay them flat to dry.
Right. Anyway, okay.
Oh, and the other thing I'll say.
Oh, I know. Because you said that this dries out. That the coatings on cheap. Well, this is not cheap. I don't think.
It's probably not cheap.
Right,
no.
right.
Yeah.
But anyway, what do I put on here? What kind of oil or what kind of moisturizer would you use?
That's a good question. I think instead of trying to put something on it, again, you have to go more towards preventative. Don't ever lock them in a dry, airless place.
I'll be back when that dries a while.
Okay, all right, great.
Okay. So I'd say more than anything, don't lock them in a dry, airless place.
Okay.
Like how people will put their jewelry in the safe deposit box or in a safe.
Right.
Awful. Like even in jewelry cases, like at the Pearl Girls in jewelry cases, we put a little cup of water in there. I mean, fortunately in the South, you know, we've got this nice moist air, but yeah, you just don't. It's more of its exposure
I do have them out. I do have them. I'll show you before you leave.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
But
so
the other thing I want to
is
say is the other thing is it's a lot easier to clean them when you restring them too. Because you can take them apart and you can get in the hole and you can get in between the beads too. So that makes it easier.
You think these look dirty?
No, I don't think so.
Okay,
I don't think so.
I had cleaned them and that's how I found out they were peeling. Yeah, I was so sad, but okay, let's see.
Okay.
This is in here only because it's white jade.
Okay, I was about to say, yeah, that's beautiful.
And it was given to me by the Vietnamese government, and I just wondered if you knew I've never seen any more.
Well, you know, it's funny. We actually restring a lot of jade, so I've been seeing a lot more jade recently, and I noticed this immediately and was like, I wonder if that's jade or what that is in the box. But yeah, it's really pretty. Yeah. And
I wear it a lot.
I was going to say, stones aren't my thing that I'm knowledgeable about. I love stones, but they're not something I'm knowledgeable about.
No. I just wondered if you know, because I've never seen any more.
Yeah.
And so it made
beautiful. What a lovely gift.
Yeah, it was a great gift.
Yeah.
Okay, now, and these are probably fake.
Well, this is going to be that mother of pearl that I talk about. So these are just like, you know, little bits of mother of pearl that they've drilled, you know, holes through.
And I love it.
I know, me too. Again, kind of that beachy look.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
It has its like,
informal pearl.
Yes. Yeah. And it's funny. I mean, I say mother of pearl whenever I go off on a beach trip or something because I like mother of pearl jewelry.
Yeah.
I'll wear my mother of pearl earrings or if I have a mother of pearl necklace because you don't have to worry about the same thing, the chlorine in the pool or, you know, that kind of thing. The mother of pearl is a lot more resilient than an actual pearl. So, yeah, it does make it for a fun, you know, little accessory.
Okay,
but those are beautiful.
Thank you. I enjoy it. All right, now, I don't know if these are real or not.
Okay.
But they have an interesting, you know.
Yeah, very interesting look. Now, where did you get these? Did you get these in your travels?
I got those at Project Safe.
Oh, nice. You can have a lot. I'm assuming in like the store. You know, that they're selling. Yeah, absolutely. Every time I go into a second-hand store,
Goodwill,
you know, or a Goodwill.
Because they don't know. They just put $3 on it and put it on there.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. I do that. I look for pearls and silver. I do the same thing. Yeah, so these to me look real. This would be a freshwater pearl. Looks like it's maybe got a little color to it. Maybe it's been dyed a little bit. Let me get some more sunlight on it. Yeah, these almost have. Well, actually, some of them have a nice little peachy sheen to them, don't they? Yeah, maybe they've had a little bit of color, but yeah, a little clasp and stuff. But yeah, so these are just going to be kind of a real fun. Oh, that's a real small one. Is that a choker?
Yeah, it's right around. It falls pretty much where I took this one.
I guess you have a thinner neck. I was going to say this length would be a choker on me.
Yeah. But I think they're, you know, because I wear a lot of this, sometimes I like having that.
Something. Yeah, absolutely.
And then here's another. I got this for my niece, who my mother gave pearls to, and she never wore them. So my mother said, well, yeah. But
so she took them back?
No. She said, when I said I was going to give her, she said, don't give it to her. She never wears them. Yeah, and mother had just given her real pearl, you know, big pearls.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
I got you. Well, all I can say about this is I love these button clasps.
Yes, I know. They're
I think those are so handy.
The older you get, the more you love them.
Well, I was thinking about it because I'm always on the lookout for, How many women that are saying, I can't do that, I can't do that,
yes.
I can't do that. You know, it becomes hard. But I have a necklace with a bigger one of those, and I've been thinking, maybe we should start carrying those at the Pearl Girls, because I really do. That makes for
And then when you're restringing, I'm sure people would like to step up.
yeah, people like to change their clasp. Absolutely. Well,
yeah.
there are just some. I mean, it drives me crazy. I've even gotten some old pearls that have just a teeny little loop and a
Oh my
teeny
gosh.
little, and you just can sit there on your neck. Just, I mean, I could just for hours.
I know.
You
I
can
used to have
this.
a doorman in New York. When I lived in New York, I had a doorman named Bob. And Bob would have to dress me all the time. You know, zip it up.
Yeah. Zip this up
Right,
and
this
clasp
necklace.
my necklace.
You know, now
Oh,
I have
love
John
it.
and he hates it.
Does he really?
Yeah, well,
Well, he may not have the
Yeah, I
strength in
know,
his
that's
fingers
right.
either. I mean, that's
Exactly.
the whole thing.
Yeah,
it's
it's
not
a
like
challenge.
it's not just a woman thing.
But that
You
is
have it
easy.
too. Yeah, I love the clasp, and and again, this is a real pearl. Again, kind of that. Almost, I would say these are more of a button, even more so than a potato look. You know, kind of a potato, but they kind of got a little flat side to them. But you know, and I'll tell you the problem again with these button style is they can get dirty on the flat side. Again, these are some that you kind of have to maybe give a little cleaning to.
I don't think
but,
I've even tried to clean those.
Yeah.
Because they're not knotted.
Right. They're not. But
Yeah.
you know, they've held up. They haven't stretched out much to be not knotted.
Yeah.
They look good. So, but those are pretty
All right.
and real. So
Yes,
there we go.
and real. That's
and
good.
real.
Now these, because you said that about tinted, they're supposed to be pink, but they're kind of fading.
Yeah, and that happens. I mean, that happens even in any kind of colored pearl. Like, even if they're naturally colored or if they've been dyed, the color can fade, you know,
Right,
just
right.
from like UV exposure and just over time kind of things. So,
Right,
yeah.
right. But I hand-picked each one of those pearls.
Did you? Is this the one from Vietnam?
Yeah, yes, from Halong Bay. We're getting into Halong Bay now.
Nice, yeah.
Well, these are not Halong Bay. These were Athena Jewelers here.
Oh, okay.
But they were green, and I loved them.
I was about to say, yeah, these look green, don't they?
And they've kept it, I guess, pretty well. I bought them in 2001, or it's about 20 years.
Oh, wow, yeah. It's interesting because when I went to Vietnam, my mom got a strand of green pearls in Vietnam. So, yeah, from Halong Bay. But and I don't always come across green pearls. That's why I was kind of looking close at these to see if they were dyed or if they were more.
Yeah, can you tell?
Sometimes you can tell by looking in the drill hole. It'll be a little bit
Oh, yeah, right,
darker, you
yeah,
know,
yeah,
in
yeah.
there. My guess would be, that these are, but you know, I'm not entirely sure, I'll be honest with you.
She said they were natural.
Did she?
Yeah,
Yeah.
They had been, you know.
Yeah, because they have such a, you know, sometimes the subtler colors.
Or those need cleaning.
Yeah, they could probably use a little good bath for sure. Maybe, but,
Yeah, I haven't. I'm bad.
But yeah, you know, the only thing is I don't think that there is a mollusk that produces a freshwater green pearl. You could get a saltwater green pearl, but that's why I'm kind of curious. I'm like,
So they maybe, do you think your mom's were dyed?
My mom's were naturally green, and that's why, I mean, I've seen this kind of tint. Hers are slightly darker. I mean, I've seen them both, right? I've seen them in dyed this kind of color, and I've seen them naturally. This green, you know. 'Cause it's more of like a tint versus a deep green. You know how you... Some dyed green pearls, you're like, yep, that's fake. You know what I'm saying? They got just that bright green color.
Yeah.
You know, probably kind of like these yellowies. You know, like there's, you know, there's no doubt about that. That's been colored.
Yes.
That is, you know, so.
And is it, and these are just mother of pearl.
Yeah, these are mother of pearl pieces that almost, that have a little bit of a blister pearl effect to them because you can see how they have the little. I love that.
I do
They've
too.
got the little pearls in there, but yeah, then they just dyed these pearls in between and the mother of pearl.
And I love this green.
Yeah.
This is.
I mean, this is almost like a yellowy green. Do you think?
Yeah. Almost. Yeah, gold.
Gold.
You can wear it either way.
I know. Those are really, really pretty. For sure.
Well, you can always cut it out when I say this, but thrift shop.
Oh, really? Yeah.
So,
No, I mean, I like having that in there. You can buy pearls at the thrift shop.
Yeah.
But going back to this one.
redid those.
Okay. Did you do this one?
Yeah.
With us or no?
No, I did it myself. But I learned at your shop.
Okay,
in
I was
my
wondering.
course.
So I was gonna say, I feel like
I
we
learned
discussed this
that one
strand
I've
before.
done, and there's another somewhere that I've done
But this.
with the information I got from Pearl Girl.
Yes, the Barrel Girls. Well, this was smart because this type of clasp, again, so convenient if you can get that T through the loop.
I know.
And some necklaces have it so close to the pearls that you can't get it through. I had a woman come in the shop where she had the design looked like this with something hanging down from it. And she said, try to get that T in the butterfly design. I mean, it took me about 20 minutes. I was like, I'm getting mad.
Yeah.
I'm getting frustrated. I can't do this. And she said, that's how I feel every time I try to put on that stupid necklace. So we were going to redo it for her. But so that was smart to kind of have that extra room to pull that through. So that's great. But again, that's that same look. That's going to be an all-natural pink, more
I
of
did
a
this
button.
because I learned from a mistake.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
So that's what I really learn a lot that way.
I know. That's what I tell myself when I make all those mistakes.
That's
I'm
right.
just learning.
Must be learning. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Those are pretty too.
And then now see, that's probably stretched from being hung.
Okay.
Because I just noticed that. Well, now maybe I have redone that because that looks like me. But no, they must have done that. Okay. All right. Now, speaking of How Long Bay.
Okay.
All of these. This. I got this in the Pearl Market in China.
Okay.
And probably 2006. I got that.
Love it.
And it's real.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah. These are real pearled, but colored.
Yes.
Yeah. So there's no dark freshwater pearls. I mean, naturally colored freshwater pearls. There are no dark, naturally colored. So if you're getting a freshwater pearl that is this color, then it's just guaranteed that it's dyed. Now what?
It had another class.
Okay.
And it fell out. So I put a coin on there.
I was about to say, is that a Chinese coin or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It works.
Yeah, I love it.
And I'll tell you, this class can work. But the fact that it has this little safety thing is crucial to it. This is heavy.
Oh,
Yeah. It has to. Okay, so that's real.
So those are real. These are real. These are all freshwater and dyed. So that's the
Right. And here's, let's see. Now these, what do you think of those? What is the deal with those? These are How Long Bay also.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
This is, in my will, I put, they were proven real by the lighter trick.
Oh my gosh, yes. Yes.
Real, you go, oh God, what are you doing?
I was going to say, I will tell our viewers here that, that in Vietnam, that's what they do. They'll put a lighter up to them to prove they're not a plastic pearl.
Right,
it's so funny. They do that, and then sometimes don't they rub them
Yeah,
too
oh,
or
they do.
something
Yeah.
to show that the pearl powder is coming off, and that Oh yeah, quite the salespeople for sure on the street.
Well, see, I spent the night on. I should tell you this story real quick.
Yeah, tell me. I love it. I love it. No.
Okay. When I restrung these, I took out the best part of the story. because the clasp was cruddy and it broke, and it was just, they were off in a mess. But they were knotted.
Oh, okay.
But it wouldn't, I couldn't save it. I tried and tried without losing a bunch of pearls. I probably could have taken it to you, but I was stupid.
What do you mean you could, like, were they glued? What do you mean?
No. I just cut them. I had to cut them apart because the, up here was, I can't remember now. It was a long time ago, but it was, they were knotted because the story is that I stayed on the island in Halon Bay that night. And so at night the Pearl girls sit around the town, they're on the dock.
Yes,
Right,
with their
but
little cases. And
yes.
Yeah.
But at night they sit around the restaurants and stuff. And so I picked out each one of these pearls, and the little girl started, and she was knotting them, and and I said I want, and she was just putting them, and I said, no, I want them knotted, and she said, oh, and it was this long, she's just, and she ran off and got a friend, and brought back this friend that was a good knotter, and very fast, she was great.
Yeah.
And so, anyway, but about 3/4 through the necklace, evidently they were discussing how much she was going to get off of this sale. And it wasn't enough in her mind. And she threw down the necklace and walked off.
No.
And so the little girl that wasn't a good knotter at all, and there was this gap. But I kind of loved it because I knew the story.
That's a good story.
Yeah,
I'm not making enough money. I'm out of here. Yeah.
I'm out of here, right.
I know.
Hey, JoJo.
Meanwhile, you could have probably...
I know that my dishwasher delivery, my washing machine delivery was disastrous. That's the only part of it.
Really?
They didn't plug it in. We can't figure out how to get to the plug. Don't worry. Yeah. So what about these though?
So anyway, so you lived with that little
Yes,
gap in your...
for the longest
So did she
time.
string it after that then, or no?
She know, and the difference. It was great though in a way. It was really, this is the veteran, this is the new girl.
Yeah.
But she just sprang them crying the whole, way.
Aww.
Because I think that woman was important to her, and she had hurt the how Vietnamese are very formal in their relationships.
Yeah.
Really. Yeah. Anyway.
Oh, that's too
All right.
bad. So did you get this one along in Halong Bay too?
No, I think I got that at Project Save.
Did you? Yeah.
So it may not be real.
No, these are real. These are real, and again, dyed this color.
Right,
so
right.
You can really see on these how that dye is concentrated in some of these pearls. So this is a good example. And how I say they concentrate around the drill hole.
Right,
see
right.
How that is so much darker around the drill hole.
Yeah, that's a good lesson.
Yeah. So these are just some
Okay,
dyed,
great.
and I'm not
like
sure.
them.
I know it's neat. This is definitely some sort of handmade clasp. somebody did. So yeah.
Anyway, okay. Now these, I think, were my mother's. That my father got for us. So I think that they are without a problem. Although my high school ones, you don't think they are.
Well, no. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying. I know that's such a. It's a bummer, and we deal with that a lot about I thought these were real and these aren't real. But I also, that's why I tell people the value in a pearl is more than just that, financial investment.
Right.
Really,
They were mama's.
Yeah, exactly. That makes a difference. Okay, let me peek over here. So my feelings about these is these are real and these are salt water. And again, they look great, I think. I'm guessing she probably only wore them special occasions.
Right.
Was she? Yeah.
Right.
Because these are the type of pearls that could look a lot worse at this point in their lives, because these do have, again, like I was saying, that thin layer of nacre on top of it. It's got a mother of pearl, a bead nucleus, and a thin layer of nacre. So, I mean, even these aren't a particularly dense or heavy.
Right. Right. That's when you were talking.
Yeah.
And let me ask you, you know, are they considered cultured pearls?
Yes. So really, any pearl that's had human intervention to start the pearl making process is a cultured pearl.
Okay.
So a lot of people at one point, when they first came out with freshwater pearls were naturally just all different shapes. You know, they could look all kind of funky. And the reason, at least this is my interpretation of it, the reason is when you culture pearls in salt water, you put a mother of pearl bead nucleus inside that oyster, and it forms the pearl on top. So you already kind of have a template you're working with, you know, where they're just coating something that's already round. In freshwater pearls, until you get up to the much larger freshwater pearls, let me make sure we're still working. Until you get up to the much larger freshwater pearls, there is no bead nucleus. So they have a lot more to work with, you know, versus starting out with that nice round center.
Right.
So when freshwater pearls first started on the scene, and they're all these funky shapes, and then you have saltwater pearls that tend to be closer to round, people would say, well, are those cultured pearls or freshwater pearls? Well, I mean, it's a misnomer. They're all cultured pearls, but people didn't know how to differentiate.
Right.
And now freshwater pearls, really, there's a lot on the market. You know, I mean, I think there's like 1 billion freshwater pearls cultured a year. So there are the top percentage of quality of freshwater pearls are round. They're beautiful. They rival saltwater pearls in both quality, price, all of that. But because there are all these other, people still sometimes get confused about, well, freshwater pearls must be lower quality than saltwater, and it's not really true. The only difference, I will tell you this, is it takes a lot more money to culture a saltwater pearl than a freshwater pearl.
Oh,
Because you have to be based on the ocean, right?
Right.
You have to have the boats, and, you know, maybe you have a staff out on an island, and even people rob from, you know, from cultured pearl farms all the time. So you have someone out patrolling, watching the oysters as they grow. I mean, it's a big production. So again, that price may change and differentiate, but it's not the quality of the pearl, it's the cost of production more than anything. Yeah.
Wow, that's...
So anyway, so yes, these are cultured pearls, but your freshwater pearls are cultured pearls as well.
Right.
The opposite of that would be natural pearls, which means there has been no human intervention to start the pearl making
and
process.
very seldom do you see those.
It's more and more difficult for sure
yeah.
to find them. Yeah.
Now these were John's mother's that his father brought back from Japan after World War II.
Yes.
Mikimoto. I've got the little holder.
Do you?
Yeah, but I keep them hanging. So
Yeah.
But they've never, you know, and let's see, I can't remember. I think they're kind of knotted. No, maybe not. I don't know.
I know that one did look like there was a knot in there.
But
Yep, they have a knot in between each one.
isn't that nice?
Yeah, it is nice. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so these are, in fact, you know, you can find this, like I want you to look at this pearl, you can find this with even new pearls that aren't old. Can you see, it's called blinking, when you roll a pearl and you see a little change in its coloring. Can you see that?
Yes,
when
I
do
can,
that?
just a little.
Yeah, just a little. So that's, you're seeing the mother of pearl nucleus inside of there.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And again, that's a result of having the thin nacre, which again could be because these are old and it's rubbed off. The nacre or the top pearl coating has rubbed off, or it could just be because, you know, these had thin nacre to begin with. But these are really, really pretty. I mean, they've got great coloring. Again, you couldn't tell if they were knotted or not. They are a little stretched out, but these are very, very beautiful pearls, and that was a very common thing. A lot of soldiers came home from World War II with pearls. So
Yeah,
that's
I bet.
neat. Yeah.
But his sister has the other necklace, which is graduated to really pretty large,
Yeah.
pearls. But
nice.
but anyway,
yeah.
that was kind that they gave me that.
Yeah.
Okay, now here, now this is Halon Bay,
Okay.
and so I don't need to bother you, I guess. But I'll tell you, when we were talking about class, this is the worst.
Oh, is it a twist?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
To get that little thing in there and twist it at the right time.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, luckily these go in my head.
Oh, yeah, these are long enough.
Right.
The only thing I will say about these, and I'm only saying this because we're recording this, and I
No,
want
no,
people to
yeah,
know, because
yeah.
I don't ever want to criticize, but me in the pearl business, this is very common in Vietnam and common a lot of places that don't have a wide range of supplies.
Uh-huh.
These are dark pearls, knotted on white.
Oh,
and that drives
yes.
me crazy.
Right, yes. Because,
Yeah.
see, I've never, yeah.
Yeah, if you have it on
Let's
dark, those knots blend in a lot
This is all white,
better.
too.
Yeah,
All of these.
yeah.
Now,
And
let's
I mean,
see.
I even got,
This one is dark.
Is
no,
it?
Well, maybe not. What do you think? Is
well, and that
dark?
was not knotted, so, or it is not, yeah, that's light as well. That's
Oh,
like
yeah,
a light
yeah.
silk.
So they
I mean,
go-
I even got some pearls. My mom got me a strand like this in Chinatown in San Francisco years
Yeah.
ago. And yeah, I mean, it drove me crazy until I'm like, I can't do it. You know, it's just one thing, like, again, I think us being in the pearl business, we
You know
always,
that, yes.
and we always make sure we coordinate that, because you don't want those knots to stand out so much. I mean, these are large enough, and the hole is small enough where it's not as significant for this, strand, but that is just one ticky-tacky thing that I'm
No.
like,
that-
yeah.
if I ever get them restrung.
Yeah, if you ever get
I
them
can
restrung,
think
do
of that.
them on dark. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
do 'em on
You'll be
dark.
amazed how much
Now,
better
and
they look.
did we look at these?
I don't think so. We looked at some similar to these, but yeah, these are great. So this is a cool thing. These are called circled pearls. Anytime pearls have that little
Like almost an opening. It's amazing.
yeah, I was about to say, or, I've even asked pearl farmers about this before, and they say, it can be a differentiation in the muscle and how it's working that pearl around. Maybe it's a little stronger here and pinching right there. It's kind of neat to think about how
The animal,
circled pearls
yes.
form. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
but that's cool for that, and this is definitely a dyed color. So this is not a natural color for these pearls, but very beautiful and unique.
Right.
So I like
Yeah.
them. I like
Thrift
them.
shop.
Awesome.
I know,
The things you can get at a thrift shop.
And that's really, I've got
Yeah.
that. These are lost. I think those are pearls, but it doesn't matter.
Well, and
just
I
threw 'em
will
in
I
here.
will say about these. This is the typical imitation pearl. I think that you look at and you're like, hey, that's an imitation pearl. It's perfectly round. It's really shiny and poppy. It doesn't have any of your organic imperfections. I mean, even the highest end pearl may have a little pockmark on it, or may have a little, they're all organic gems. So this is sometimes what we think of, which I think is why your graduation pearls throw us off, is because we're like, well, we know what an imitation pearl looks like, right? It's round and perfect, but yeah, so these jump out immediately. You're like, okay, well, that's some kind of like plastic bead. That, makes perfect sense.
Right.
These actually have a really great pop and a look to them, if you ask me, but
Yeah,
but
I
they are
use
imitation.
them with. I got them to match that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because
Yeah.
Okay, well that's it.
Well, that's great. Well, thank you so much for sharing all of your gems with me.
Anyway, thank you.
All right. And, I was going to say, look, my battery is going dead, so I think my video stopped.
It's
but
been on pretty, but it was on most of it.
I think it was. I think
Yeah,
it
yeah,
was.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks so
thank
much,
you.
Gwen.
Oh, that was
Okay,
great.
That was great.
To plant my feet in the joy I see in